The maintenance one, I love. You were talking about that, and this is a free tip. It wasn't on our list today, but as you were talking about maintenance on the vehicle, we have that fund set up. And originally, I had the vehicle maintenance fund separate from the vehicle insurance fund, but we pay insurance every 6 months, and we change tires probably every year and a half, 18 months. And I really just didn't. It didn't feel good to put money into the maintenance fund and have it sitting there, and seeing it every month when I was setting up the account, and there just wasn't enough activity. And while it protected us and it allowed us to be intentional about taking care of vehicle maintenance when we needed to, it never felt right. And so the adjustment that I made was I combined those two accounts. So it all is in one account now. It's insurance and vehicle maintenance. And every so often, money flows into that account every month, but every so often money flows out, whether I'm paying an insurance bill or putting tires on a car, doing an oil change or replacing suspension components or whatever it is, right? The dog chewed on the seatbelt and I need a new seatbelt. Whatever those items are, just come out of that account. And all of those actually are real things. They happen to me, but maybe they don't happen to everybody. But yes, dogs can chew through seatbelts. But we just need to be prepared for that. That could have been an emergency. It could have created urgency and anxiety and financial stress, but it doesn't have to.
It doesn't anymore. And I like how you mentioned your dog, because people don't realize how much their pets actually cost them, right? They get a puppy, they know they're going to be buying food, maybe an annual vet appointment. But I have talked to, and not just in my professional life working with clients, but family members, right? Or friends who are taking their pets to the vet for very expensive, very costly procedures, or just things that happen within their home because the pet destroyed it. So in your case, it was the seatbelt in your car. And it's a real thing that happens to people with pets, but they don't account for that. They don't have that pet savings account that they can just dip into when they need it.
Or even the 6-month checkup, right? If you've got a pet, a dog, a cat, a fish, I don't know, a snake. People get weird pets these days, but whatever it is, there's a cost associated with that. You got to feed it. You got to take care of it. You got to make sure it has its shots. Dogs have to be registered, and so at least where we live. And so there's all these costs, right? And you can go way down the rabbit hole there too, right? With how much you spend on your pet. But you do have to make a decision on what the value of the pet is to the overall picture, right? And what's more important and where your priorities are going to be. So you can take very good care of your pet without going overboard, but you can also go overboard. And that I believe tends to happen when you don't plan. If you don't plan, then everything that comes along is a possible option for your pet. And if you're just spending without a plan, then every time you see a new toy, you get it. Every time you have an opportunity to, do doggy daycare or a doggy day spa that your friend told you about, or, we have, I pick on this a little bit. I know the owner, and she knows that I pick on her, so it's okay. But there's a doggy daycare of sorts here in our county, and we live just outside of Atlanta, in Georgia. And so there's lots of quote unquote city dogs that never get to experience the country lifestyle. And she has found an opportunity to take advantage of that need and has provided the country lifestyle for city dogs. And city dog owners will pay, in my opinion, too much, but to each his own, to have their dogs experience life in the country for a couple of days. And so she runs a business dedicated to those people. So there is if you want to run a business, lots of people will tell you just identify a need, solve it, right? Pretty simple.
I absolutely love hearing about other businesses, what people do for a living, because it never ceases to amaze me that, people are thinking differently than I think, for sure. And they have ideas. And like you said, if there's a need out there, you can create the business model for it. So
solve a need. That's all you got to do.
I think it's very interesting that she was able to create that business model, and how great for her that she's spending time in the country and fresh air with animals. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Well, and it's got to be good for the dogs too. I don't take that away from them. I just think it's interesting that you choose to live in a city with an animal that you wish could live in the country. You've got an option here. You could just move to an area.
The irony of it all.
It is. Yeah, it's very interesting to me.
I hear you.